and welcome to Don't Feed the Gondolas. One of the big crime-fighting developments of the week was the news that the Gardaí are considering putting some members of the force on horseback. However, the development may be some years away, as scientists now have to genetically engineer a breed of horse even thicker and fatter than the guards they have to carry. With Brendan O'Connor of the Sunday Independent, Ireland's most famous astrologer, a man who has unlocked the secrets of the future, though unfortunately not the secrets of fashion. My old mate from the end, Mr. Fergus Gibson. And joining Dara O'Brien tonight, a man said to have the sexiest voice on radio. Apparently he can drive women wild simply by saying the words, and now it's time for Des Cahill. From 5-7 Live, Miles Dungan. Our first game is called This Week in History. What happens is that each of our 4 players get some props, which relate to a news story which took place this week a few years ago. Brendan, you go first. You get a candle. A big holy candle and a burglar's mask. So, what news story do you think that was about?
I thought maybe the mask was about Halloween, which is that time of the year when we all give sweets to children. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe then the candle is something, big holy candle, something to do with the church. But for the life of me, I can't figure out what the connection between those things could be.
Yes, it is a tough one, really, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I'll give you a point for saying church anyway, obviously, because there is a church connection there. Have a look at this now. There's this little church in Connemara. Now, burglars came in here and they stole something. Now, spot the difference. Yes, the altar is missing. Of course, if mass attendances weren't so low, there might have been a few witnesses sticking around. So I'll give you 1 point for that. Fergus?
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
You knew I was going to say that, didn't you?
I did.
Sorry. So anyway, your 2 things are you get a jumper and a table tennis bat. Lovely jumper. Pat Kenny charges a fortune for that jumper. Yeah. So what do you think that might relate to?
This relates to when I was the fashion consultant for the 1994 Olympic team for Irish table tennis. And they were disqualified for bad taste. Now, I just can't figure that out.
Well, I'll give you a point for hard neck.
Yeah.
Actually, the jumper relates to a song called Where's Me Jumper. It's a ping pong bat from a band called the Sultans of Ping FC, a band from Cork, who are obviously with us tonight in the audience. The story was a controversy surrounding the release of their album in 1993 called Casual Sex in the Cineplex. You'd buy that album just for the pictures, really, wouldn't you? And to go with the album, they had a poster campaign with this slogan: "Can a Sultan have casual sex?" So here's some VT of the Sultans of Ping in action.
Wait a minute. Where's me jumper? 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 Oh no.
The follow-up single was Where's Me Trousers?
Sean, that reminds me, the best review I ever saw of the Sultans of Ping, it was a 2-word review. Ping pong.
Somebody else actually who was in trouble this week, or a group of people who were in trouble this week with a poster campaign were Radio Ireland. They had a poster campaign featuring a picture of Eamon Dunphy, along with this slogan: "I always thought Dunphy was an asshole until they put him on the radio." I think the answer to that is fairly obvious, really, if you think about it. And apparently there were complaints because motorists were passing billboards and they saw a picture of Eamon Dunphy and then they just aimed their car straight at it. Causing lots of crashes.
They stuck the ads in the darts as well, but unfortunately it seemed to encourage people to travel underneath the trains rather than on them.
Dara, you get a ball and chain and a comedy hat. What's the story, do you think?
It's one of these horrible kind of Irish comedy hats, and obviously this is a legal thing, so I suspect it's the time that the Americans said, part of the North said there's going to be a law against crimes against Irishness, and they said they'd actually throw in jail any Americans who went down O'Connell Street in a pair of green trousers on St. Patrick's Day. That would be against the law.
And it's too good for them, I
absolutely, say, yeah. And any actors who were in a movie, in a Hollywood movie, punched an English character and said, "That's for the famine." Especially in the context of a modern romantic comedy. Just gratuitous, so it's against the law now.
Yes, that's a good guess, but absolutely inaccurate, I'm afraid. Well, the hat refers to a comedian. The ball and chain refers to somebody held against their will. We have a bit of VT. This is actually a news report to tell you what happened.
Noel Ginnity was recovering today from his experience. The drama began when two armed men went to his house in Dunleary and imprisoned himself and his housekeeper.
We're looking for 100,000, yeah.
Though badly shaken, Mr. Ginnity put the ordeal behind him and a short time later appeared in the Gaiety Theatre where he was playing in the pantomime The Snow Queen.
1996 that was. A gang of masked men kidnapped Noel V. Ginnity.
And kept him there by dancing around him.
Actually, staying with crime for a minute, this week a man was prosecuted for having sex in the toilets in Supermax in Galway. Personally, I think any burger that describes itself as tasty and tempting is just really asking for it. You know?
They're all the same, those burgers, aren't they? Going around with their saucy, tight little buns.
Miles, welcome.
Thank you.